Good day everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cailyn and this is Foundation First. Today we're going to talk about things that you can take with you to a restaurant to keep your child occupied while you are out as a family. Number one, and I've mentioned this many times before, and that's Play-Doh. Play-Doh is wonderful. You can make it yourself, you can buy it, and it is completely open-ended and wonderful for your children's fine motor development and creativity. You can print out free resources online that are Play-Doh mats, etc. for them to work on if that's something you like, or just bring Play-Doh for them to use at the dinner table. Number two, crayons and paper. They can use plain paper or set coloring in books. Coloring in really keeps children occupied for a very long time. It's calming, it's relaxing, and if your child is a little bit more creative, then they can also bring more plain paper. It's up to you. Number three, simple board games. Board games are really fun, especially if you have more than one child. The siblings can play together something like snakes and ladders. They can play chess. They can play something like 4 in a row. They can play Guess Who. There's so many different child appropriate games out there that you can play with your children, which is wonderful, or they can occupy themselves. Number four, books. Reading books, picture books. These are things that children can occupy themselves with really well and to encourage their development of the joy of reading. Remember, with books, make sure it's child appropriate, something that they can try read, and if not, then make it something that they can look at the pictures and make up the story. And don't be afraid to use things like comic books, etc. Remember, it needs to be age appropriate. Lots of comic books may not be for small children, but just make sure that they're age appropriate, and these are really great to keep children occupied. Number five, small puzzles. Puzzles are a wonderful thing to keep children occupied. Something to bring along with you would be a small tray that the puzzle can be built onto. The child can build the puzzle, make sure it's big enough for them to be occupied for a while. If it's a 4-piece puzzle, it's going to go so quickly unless they're that age that it would take a little bit longer. Next is a pegboard. Pegboards are wonderful for developing children's fine motor development and their cognitive skills. They come with different little boards that the children can copy from, or they can just make their own pictures with the different colors that they are given. Next is Lego. Lego is wonderful. It's open-ended. They can use it for many different things. It's very great for their creativity, or they can learn to follow instructions by following an instruction booklet that came with the Lego, or there's a lovely app which I'll put over here. Again, not sponsored and don't have sponsors yet, but I think this is a really wonderful app that you can get your child for them to have different things that they can copy and make from their Lego. Next is geoboards. Geoboards are wonderful, they're compact, and it's kind of like a pegboard, but it's with elastics rather than pegs going in holes. This again, they can copy pictures that will keep them occupied. It's good for their problem solving, matching, and cognitive skills. They can also create their own pictures with their imagination and creativity. Next is threading. This is also really good for children to develop their fine motor muscles and their hand-eye coordination, and make sure that if the children are very young, that the beads and the string is big enough for them. They can copy patterns. They can make their own threading out of it. If they are old enough, they can make their own bracelets and necklaces if that's something that they would be interested in. And last but not least, just a few toys that they enjoy bringing with them. Please not too much. You don't want to overwhelm the children, and also you don't want to lose anything. The less is often more. If you bring something to keep them occupied, then you can also mix things, such as you can bring Lego and Play-Doh. They can use the Play-Doh as printing and they can make patterns out of it. You can bring little toys and have the toys live in the houses that they make out of the Lego, etc. These are great examples of ways that you can also keep your children entertained without giving them a tablet or a phone. One thing that I can also suggest to you is talk to your children. You could have conversations with them. They really are wonderful creatures, these little children. Ask them about their day. Play I Spy. Think of little games that you can play with your kids. Talk about things that they enjoy. Be amazed the kind of conversations that you can have with young children. I know sometimes you want to have conversations with adults, and adult conversations, and when I say adult conversations, I mean something with a little bit more sustenance. This is why having these options is really good. If you haven't yet, try your best to have some conversation with your children. This is also very good for developing their conversation skills, their literacy skills, comprehension, developing their vocabulary and social skills. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe so that you can see more of what I have coming next, and I'll see you in my next one.